652-369-9101.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
Sunday is Super Bowl 51, and Honey Baked Ham has teamed up with WOCA to give one lucky listener all the fixings for a fabulous Super Bowl party for 20 people. Sandwiches, sides, soft drinks, plates, napkins, utensils, even a cookie or a brownie. Honey Baked Ham can make any day feel like a party, and all you have to do is call in and register to win. Call 732-8000 right now. Leave your name and number, and Friday during Fun with Joe, we'll announce the winner. It's a Super Bowl spectacular from WOCA and Honey Baked Ham. Yum.
All right, 5 minutes after 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. It's still a little bit cool out there. Let me see what exactly it is. According to the thermometer, it is 38 degrees. Wow. Galen Unold is on the phone from LifeSouth Community Blood Center. Good morning, Galen. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Larry, Robin. How are y'all?
Pretty good. Where are you today?
Heading to Jacksonville.
Jacksonville again. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you go over any bridges in Jacksonville?
Yes.
What's the name? What's the name of the bridge?
There's a bunch. There's Gate River and
the Gate River Bridge.
There's a ton. There's a ton of them. I don't know the names of them.
So we don't pay attention to names of bridges in Florida, right? You ever notice that?
Like, the big ones. I mean, there's a couple of big ones. There's the Acosta Bridge. I mean, Jacksonville. There's a river that runs right through the heart of Mexico. So
yeah.
Crossing the river. So.
Well, I think if you live in a place, you pay attention, or like if we visit like Tampa a lot, we know what the Skyline Bridge is and that kind of, and the Causeway Bridge, we know those names.
We don't really know the overpass.
I'm just being silly. You're taking me serious. I was just having fun. I just don't think I think bridges are an interesting thing because in New York, you know every bridge, you know the names. But we don't name bridges here. Well, we have names, we just don't remember them. We say the St. Johns River Bridge.
Right.
That's not what it's called, though.
Oh, it's a different name?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it's called
either. I don't know. I don't live there.
The Ocklawaha Bridge. Don't you know the Ocklawaha Bridge?
That's a name, though. It's not called the Ocklawaha Bridge.
But everybody calls it.
I know. but it has a name. What is it called, Rama? Do you remember?
I don't know.
What is the
There's Ray Wayside Park.
Oh, you know the name. See, that Rob is pretty good.
Is that the bridge?
No. But most people call that the boat basin.
Yeah.
Most people don't call it the Ray Wayside. You're like one of the few people.
Well, it used to be just the boat basin, and then the Ray Wayside Park came later. So.
Yeah, boat basin.
But we interviewed that one fella a few months ago, and he did a huge coffee table book about all the bridges in France, which was pretty neat. Remember that? He did daytime and nighttime and everything, and he named the names and gave pictures, and so that was pretty cool. Yeah. We should do that here.
That being a bestseller. When's the last time you bought a coffee?
Coffee table book?
I don't own a coffee table book. I don't think I've ever owned a coffee table book.
I can tell you.
I don't own a coffee table.
Well, they're in the way, I mean, they're not aesthetically pleasing when they're on your table.
I love coffee table books.
I'm anti-coffee table.
Well, we have them here at the
I got rid of my coffee table, too, because it was in the way. But I do like the coffee table book.
What's the one you look at the coffee table book?
Just yesterday I was looking at one. I'm not lying either.
Yeah, we have three here, which are very.
I'm not lying. Yeah, no, but anyway.
All right.
Okay, so the Ocklawaha Bridge is called.
It costs like $60, and you open it once, babe. Yeah.
Well, that's true. No, it depends, I guess. All right, so here's what it's called. It's called the R.N. Burt Dosh Bridge.
The 41?
Yeah.
The R.N. Burt Dosh?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to look it up and see who he is, or was.
I can tell you.
Okay.
And the other direction, it's called the John W. Brantley Jr. Bridge. Really? They gave it two different names?
I guess so.
It depends on which direction you're going.
Yeah. Well, they
Well,
gave
no wonder we don't know the name of the bridge.
Right, that's why you call it the Ocklawaha Bridge.
Yeah, that makes sense.
they gave the one over 17th Street 2 names.
They did?
Over a street, it's not a bridge, it's an overpass.
The the 2 governors' names, right? They gave it 2
McKay
names.
Williams, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
It's an overpass. In my world, a bridge has to go over water in order to be a bridge.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Or at least 2 land masses. It can't be going, just because it's an overpass doesn't make it a bridge.
The bridge, by the way, the bridge is a wonderful metaphor for describing the difference between conservatives and liberals.
Oh, okay.
Right? Have you ever
Yes.
heard this before?
I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't. No.
Okay, here it's simple. It's real simple. There's a river. There's a river, and everybody knows you need to get over that river, right? So the government says we're going to build a bridge, right? And the Republicans say that's great, and the Democrats say that's great, and whatever other parties were in whatever.
Yeah, there are different parties.
The Brooklyn Bridge is the first bridge that connects the Long Island area to the New York City area. Just that's where this comes from, just so you know. Oh, and this actually happened. There was an argument. How do we pay for the bridge? Well, those who would be considered liberal in today's world said taxes should pay for it. Those who would be considered conservative in today's world said no, there should be a toll. Only the people who use it should pay for it. And thus became this whole separation. Should we pay for things with taxes, or should we pay for things as we use them? And there you go. That's how that happened.
Gosh, interesting.
And that's true for everything. I mean, pretty much, if you think about it, the whole abortion argument is really about, well, it's not just about paying for it, but that's a good part of it. Should the government pay for your abortion? Well, should you pay for your own abortion?
Yeah, there you go. You pay for your own.
Right? Isn't that the big argument?
Yep.
For
Galen,
abortion?
Galen's staying out of it. Well, I'm against abortion, but I'm also against the government paying for abortion.
Probably more like healthcare, and the direction that healthcare is going. Should the government be paying for people's healthcare? Is that a right that you have in this country? And some people believe it is. Some people believe that education past high school is a right.
Right, it is a right. You should have health care, but should your neighbor pay for your health care? That's the question.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no. Well, then, therefore, a right to me is God given. God, it's something that God gave you.
Well, God did give us. I mean, didn't God make the doctors?
Yeah, but he didn't. Yeah, but he didn't say that you shouldn't pay for your own way.
Right.
Exactly.
You're on my side on that with that statement.
Right. So it's not a right. It's not a right.
But I'm just
a right. A right is something that the government has to protect. I don't think the government has to protect my right to go to a doctor.
All right. Well, yeah, I understand. And now I guess I misunderstood earlier. But my point is that in trying to explain the difference between conservative and liberal, using schools and sidewalks and bridges and anything like that makes sense. I'm liberal when it comes to sidewalks. I don't want a toll on a sidewalk. But I'm conservative when it comes to bridges because I'm going to use, I'll pay the toll. See, that's how I feel. I'm a liberal when it comes to public schools because I think we should have public schools. I'm a conservative, and everybody says I'm mishmash. I'm not. I'm clear.
Yes, you are very.
I'm clear on how I feel about things. I just don't fall right down the definition of whatever it should be. And by the way, rhino is spelt with an H. Just so you know.
Right.
Good morning, you're on the air.
Yeah, see, in the world of dentistry, there are bridges, and that's kind of like going over water.
There you go. I love that.
You were really searching for that
one. That's great. I love that.
That was good.
That was a good one.
Hey, while we're on the topic of politics, what are your thoughts on the ban of the travelers from the seven countries?
Yes.
Galen?
Well, it's temporary. I mean, it's only 90 days, and I think the biggest reason behind it is there's no real government in those areas.
Right.
And so if it takes another few days for these people to come over, then I have no problem with that. I mean I know the talk says it's all Muslim banned, but what about the other? There's another 80 countries that are considered Muslim that aren't on the ban.
Right.
So I understand it, and if it keeps a few members from Al Qaeda and ISIS out, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
And I think look, my son and I were having this conversation yesterday. I think right now, where we're at in this world, I think that if Donald Trump decided that hamburgers were better than hot dogs, there'd be 2.5 million people protesting. I really did. Or that if he decided that, hot dog is not a sandwich, 2.5 million people would show up and protest. So, I think we have to take everything with a grain of salt, because 2 years ago, Chuck Schumer came out and publicly said, we need to look at these refugees and slow this process down. He said that in 2015.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So, and so now he's crying about it. So we really need to just look and say, all right, I think Donald Trump's doing everything he said he was going to do so far. So if you voted for him, you think this is great. If you didn't vote for him, you think he's the worst human being on the planet.
But the thing is this, if you supported Obama, then you should also support this, because the 7 countries he named were, in 2015, let's see, Iraq, Iran, Sudan, and Syria were named in the Terrorist Travel Prevention Act. But nothing was done about it. In 2016, they added the countries of Libya, Somalia, and Yemen. And the reason for those countries is because the security review process was prevented by those governments, or lack of government, as Galen puts it.
Yes.
That's it.
Well, and I will tell you this. I won the pool. I had a pool with a couple of friends of mine as to how quickly Obama would come out against Trump. And I said it would be less than 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And so I won the pool.
Yeah, you certainly did. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think it would be 8 days. I'll be honest with you. I thought it would take a little longer than 8 days. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, and what about Iran, shooting off a ballistic missile?
Yeah.
That $1 billion we gave them, this wasn't enough.
Right. Yeah, we give them money and they shoot a
Obama
missile.
gave them all that money.
Right.
And they
I know.
shooting missiles.
But Trump wanting to get out of that deal, that's a bad idea. That's risky. Really risky. Yeah. Well, that deal, they're still shooting ballistic missiles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting to watch the media that is not mentioning the very things that, hey, we're just a small-time radio station. You read the news, you'll see some of these things. How is it possible that they don't make it into the bigger discussion? How is it possible that you set up your cameras outside the Statue of Liberty when you're doing the Today Show to remind America that we are a country made of immigrants? Nobody ever forgot that.
No.
Nobody ever forgot that. Well, I have immigrant stories in my family that my mother couldn't come over for a whole year when she was 3 years old because she was sick.
Yeah.
Just being sick prevented you from coming in.
Right.
What'd she have, rubella or something like that? Something like that?
Yeah, exactly. It was horrible. Her dad had to be here without his family.
So, I mean, we've always had pretty strict rules about immigration, but we've also been open-armed about immigration. Mm-hmm. And we've also been a country where once you get here and go through the process and take that little oath, guess what you can call yourself? An American.
Yeah. Go through the process. Yeah. Those are those 4 words. Go through the process.
When they stopped the Cuban sanctuary, they didn't cry. When they, and so I think I just have a problem that it's pick and choose, and that happens on both sides.
It does happen on both sides.
I know I heard you speaking earlier about, there doesn't need to be a wall. But my point is where they really need to build a wall, and my understanding is Mexico's building the wall, is on their southern front, because that's where the bulk of all of these problems are coming from.
Exactly.
And that's where they need to build a wall, and I have no problem with a wall. I mean, I think as a country, we have to define our boundaries and help decide what a country truly is. So,
well, I don't think the wall. Okay, the wall might. Okay, if you follow this, and I know people don't like when I say this, but I think 90% or more of the illegal immigrants are probably just good people trying to find work, and they just was dumb or stupid or lazy or something. Okay,
they're lazy. They don't want to go through.
All right, and maybe that's true, and maybe being hard nosed about it would get them off their butts and do it the right way. Okay, but I don't think they'd be here if there weren't jobs that they could get because they're willing to accept lesser pay. Now, people say that I'm wrong about that, but every time you read a story, there's another story like that. If you put up a wall, though, somebody who's a drug cartel, somebody who's really a problem, or a terrorist, that wall's not going to stop them.
No, and I look, my thought is this: if it stops 50% or even 40%, it's better. And I think you nailed it. I have friends who have come and migrated to this country legally. And when they look at illegals, it hurts them.
Right.
Because people question, how did you get to this country? How are you here? And I think it's a representative of everybody who does do it the right way. And some of I was talking about this to one of my son's friends yesterday, and he immigrated. He's Indian. His parents went to Canada first. Because the Canadian immigration laws are a little different. And then they applied to get a green card to come to the U.S. because he wanted his kids to be legal citizens so they could have all that the U.S. offered and not live in the shadows.
Right.
And, his son, while I was driving, talked about that, and he was emotional about what that meant to him, is to do everything legally. And I think that sets a standard for the rest of the way they live their life. So, what kind of quality of life are you having if you're constantly scurrying into the dark because you're afraid you're going to get deported?
I know. Yeah, it makes sense.
How is that any way to raise a child?
Right.
Now, some of these people are coming from Honduras, and it's horrific. Right, I get it. The conditions are so much better here than they are there.
Absolutely.
So there are times, and I'm sure Syria is much the same way. With bombs going off in your backyard, you could just cease to exist. And if you can get to that promised land, then I understand fighting for that. But at the same time, some of these people are just coming here illegally because, I can get a driver's license and start driving a truck within a week of being here. And as you said earlier, I think if we can go back to where we actually stop the hiring process and making sure that everybody's got an I-9 and that you're actually making sure that they're true citizens, will prevent a lot of that.
Somebody's been waiting patiently to say something. Let's take that phone call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, just to get the emphasis again off of the usual suspects. At the time period that my forebears were coming over here legally from Italy, some of the more notorious people of Italian ancestry came here illegally. Carlo Gambino, Vito Genovese, Charles Luciano, and my ethnicity was tarred with the ill deeds of these people for generations.
Right, which is why I'm still scared of you.
Yeah, he knows where you live. He's got connections.
No, but it's a really good point. Yeah, thank you, Jim. Appreciate that. Yeah.
All right, have a good day, all.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I mean, that's a really good point. I'm sure it's true for every ethnicity, right?
Yes, for sure.
And in today's world, it happens to be a religion. So.
And there's even people here today that go to the Social Security office and they sign up for benefits, and they're not here legally. They're illegal, but the Social Security office knows about it, and they're collecting, taxpayer money. So I have a problem with that too.
Galen.
Well, that's against the law, and if that's allowed, it's just like the Attorney General who refused to support the law. How can you be an Attorney General if you're willing to break a law? You're supposed to hold up the law and not break it down. I have a real problem with that.
All right, let me. I don't know if you've heard this story, but can I just read you a little bit from one of the news items? Yeah. A U.S. Olympic official told USA Today President Donald Trump's executive order on immigration regarding people living in countries with terror ties could harm America's 2024 Olympic bid.
Good.
It's
Look,
90
I don't want to host
days.
the Olympics.
What?
I don't want to host the Olympics, and I'm going to explain why. It is a money pit. It is extremely expensive. I think the Olympic Committee is one of the most corrupt organizations in the world. They're right behind FIFA, as far as I'm concerned, as far as corruption. In order to get the Olympics, you have to pay them, you have to bribe them, you have to wow them with gifts, and you have to put so much money into it that it's a failing operation. Now, in the U.S., we've done it successfully in the past, in Utah and Atlanta, because we had sports teams that were willing to take over some of these coliseums that you have to build. But look at Lake Palisade, Lake Placid in New York. It's empty. Those things are just not used. It was a complete waste of money. You need to be. I don't want to hold the Olympics.
All right.
I don't want to ever hold the Olympics. Look what it did to Brazil. It bankrupted Brazil.
Let me.
You Google it. Google just former Olympic cities, and look how it devastated their economy.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I've seen those stories before. All right, I don't mean to cut you short, but we're almost out of time, and I don't want to miss the whole point of you being on. How's the blood supply?
We're okay. The cold weather is keeping people away, but we need to continue to have some great blood drives. So please get out there, get the wife, and donate blood.
Yeah, wear a coat.
And you have that competition today between the CEP and the BMI. So everybody that's members of those two organizations, go to LifeSouth on East Silver Springs Boulevard and donate for your company.
Yeah, thank you for finding this. That's where all our staff is today. We're hopefully having a great turnout.
Palm Garden of Ocala and Penn Flooring are the two sponsors that make that important announcement possible each morning, and we love them both. Thank you, Palm Garden. For those who need a place for your loved ones for long-term, maybe end-of-life, skilled nursing care, Palm Garden is where you should go. And for your short-term rehabilitation needs, there as well, because they've got 21st century technology. They've got therapists who are the best people in the world, and the culinary staff is outstanding. It's just a really great place. Go check it out, 2700 Southwest 34th Street. Take a tour, show up unannounced, and you'll see why we love it. Penn Flooring, also some beautiful flooring here at the radio station, and it's holding up pretty nicely, Robin. And we've been here, 5 years already? It's doing pretty good.
It's marvelous.
Go see what they can do for you, 1201 Southwest 17th Street. Thank you, Penn Flooring. We'll take a little break and be right back with Galen.
Are you in need of custom screen printing, embroidery, or promotional items? Then look no further and come visit the brand new Legacy Team Sales. LTS is conveniently located off 17th Street next to Armstrong Homes in beautiful Ocala. We offer the best prices and highest quality products for your company, team, school, or nonprofit. Whether looking for screen printed shirts, embroidered polos, or travel team uniforms, you'll be sure to find it at Legacy Team Sales. Come visit our new 27,000 square foot facility. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales staff will assist you in every part of your custom purchase. LTS carries the hottest brands in the industry like Under Armour, Russell, Mizuno, Asics, Badger Sports, Gildan, Pacific, Ogio, and many more. At LTS, screen printing embroidery is done in-house, and we guarantee customer satisfaction. Stop by, give us a call, or check us out on the web at shoplts.com. Remember the name, LTS.
Palm Garden wants to get to the heart of the matter. If you've been in the hospital as a cardiac patient, maybe you have a pacemaker or congestive heart failure or an arrhythmia, or perhaps you're a heart bypass patient, then consider Palm Garden as your rehab choice. With proven outcomes second to none, Palm Garden fixes broken hearts. Call today at 854-6262. That's 854-6262. All right, we've got like a minute left with Galen, so I apologize for that. Galen, where's the Bloodmobile today?
We're having that competition, and so we're all at the center today. So just come by the center, 1607 East Silver Street Boulevard, give the life, donate blood.
Yeah, and if you bring up politics, does it make the blood flow faster?
Yeah, you better just hope the person with the needle agrees with you.
But I mean, once it's in there, once it's coming out of your system, you
Then you can talk about anything you want.
you strike up the conversation with the other person on the bus or the other person in the room. What do you think about that Trump?
Make sure they're needle free. Yeah. That's a good conversation, no matter what. Oh, what about Trump? People either love him or hate him. Everybody's got an opinion on him. So,
Yeah. All right, Galen, be careful driving up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Oh, you guys are the best.
All right,
Bye, all.
Thank you. We will be right back.